Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Reddit on Reddit.
From the Fernando and Freddy Show.
Why isn't my name first?
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Reddit on Reddit. I'm Fernando.
And I'm Freddy, and this is Kitty P.
Hey Kitty P.
Okay.
KPK.
Kitty P.
All
Carter.
right. Oh wait, KPC. All right. So, will I be the a-hole for telling my parents I don't wish to follow their religion anymore? I grew up Catholic. My parents and I went to church every Sunday. They always told me that I should always do everything for the greater glory of God. I believed in it until I was about 15. As I started to open my mind, I realized that I didn't like Catholicism. I didn't like the idea that I should go to heaven and my best friend, who does not believe in God, will go to hell. It never sat right with me, and the more and more I thought, the more I didn't want to be Catholic anymore. In my first year of college, I moved away to the West Coast. When when I was talking to my parents on the phone, they had always asked me if I've been going to church. In the beginning, I would lie and say that I was. However, I would go to bed feeling incredibly ashamed because I was just going to keep lying about my life and I needed to be honest. One night when they asked me again, I told them I hadn't gone. Immediately, they sternly told me that I needed to be going to church. I never went to church one single day I was there. Now that I'm back home and in quarantine, I've been going to online church with them. Right now, I don't see church as a time to praise God, but rather as a time I can go and share an experience with my parents that they love. For example, I love seeing my mom with her hands clasped together with her eyes closed because I know how much it means to her. I shouldn't hate them for believing. This is part of their lives, and I should honor that with as much of my heart as I can. They have done so much to put me where I am in life, and it would be rude to dismiss those efforts. The least I could do is respect their beliefs. This means that I'm still going to accompany them to church on Christmas and share those experiences with them because I know they'd want me to be there. I just can't bring myself to enter their room, sit down with them, and tell them. A part of me believes that they're going to get incredibly angry. You're immature, you don't know what you're doing. Blame themselves. Where did I go wrong? We raised you to be a better person than this. Or do everything in their power to convert me back. I'll pray for you. I had a dream God spoke to you. I don't have a desire to study the Bible. I want to break free and find who I truly am and my place in the universe without being guilty of not going to church. I also understand that this decision could cause irreparable damage to our relationship, but I'm willing to assume the consequences of my actions. I've been mentally preparing myself for the worst, like my parents refusing to talk to me or casting me out like the black sheep of the family, like everyone else in my extended family. It breaks my heart and makes me feel like crying. But I understand that it is a very real thing that could happen. So, too long to read. Synopsis. Will I be the a-hole for telling my parents I am very close with that I don't want to follow their religion anymore? Bam. What do you think?
Ooh. Kitty P doesn't want to answer this one. She's like, let me go. I gotta go.
I think it's hard. This is really rough because I'll tell you straight up. I grew up going to Catholic church, and every single
you're
Sunday,
Catholic?
I hated it. Growing up, yes, I hated it. My dad sent me off to catechism. I did my first communion every Wednesday for 2 years. I had to go to these classes, and I dreaded it. Like I did not want to go. I remember like after school, like swimming in the swimming pool. My dad would make me a snack and then take me off to catechism class. It was every single Wednesday. And like it was just terrible. Like I hated it. So I think though, like the author of this post, like they're not necessarily saying they hated church or that they were bored or this or that. They were just saying that they pretty much don't believe in the religion. Whereas me, like I was just bored.
Oof. It's a difficult one because it's like if the person doesn't want to. Well, I don't know. He said he just doesn't want to go to church, but he didn't say he wants to leave the religion completely.
They said they didn't believe in it. They were saying in
Oh yeah,
that
so I guess
first
if you don't
like
believe
paragraph,
in it.
like how I don't believe in something that would send me to heaven, and my friend who doesn't believe in God is going to go to hell. So that's what they were saying, like they didn't, really believe. And then there was this other part in here that said, what did they say?
What's a difficult one? Because when you're raised with something, no matter what it is, it's very difficult to let go of that. And so if that's been indoctrinated into you, and you've lived that way and you've done everything that way, it always will sit with them somewhere in their, in the back of their head, maybe even if they don't believe it. So, but I think as with all religions, normally you're supposed to make the choice for yourself. I mean, you can't, even if you went and you didn't believe and you forced yourself, that kind of invalidates everything, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Like if you believe in religious scripture and thing like that. So it would mean that if you went and you faked it and you kept going, even though you didn't believe, it doesn't mean that you would be automatically going into the heaven. Then
right.
it
I
would mean
agree
that
with you there.
you, yeah. So
And
it
like,
doesn't really make sense to continue if you don't believe them.
and this was the thing that I was looking for. So I'll quote, I want to break free and find who I truly am and my place in the universe without being guilty of not going to church. So I kind of feel like they're like free spirited,
Yeah.
like, they just kind of like believe in the universe and, not
Well,
necessarily like
yeah.
God. So I think you're right. Like, why fake it? Why go to church? Why waste your time when it's going just for the fact that you're trying to make your parents happy when it's not something that you believe in?
Yeah, but I think one of the things that a lot of people who are religious always mess up in these situations is they try to force the person to go and do something, and the moment you force someone, they resist and they pull away even more. So if you do want someone to come back into your fold or your flock or however they say it, it's always better to let the person leave, let the person experience and see, and then if they feel they've made the wrong choice, they won't be so hesitant to come back to you if they have choice. But if you leave them no choice, then they have no choice and they won't come back.
But
That's the
and
only thing I
even
could think of this situation.
like the author had even said, like, they love seeing, how happy this makes their parents or their mom or
Yeah,
whatever it was in general, and they were willing to go, on those holidays or on these different times, with their parents. So it's not like they were saying that they're going to fully leave. They were just pretty much saying that it's something that they, you know didn't care for, but they still were going to do it, to please their parents. So
yeah. But it's also one of those things where I mean, what if they wanted to explore different religions, and so many people don't have that option because that's the way. I mean, because most people get their religion just from their family. So it is kind of interesting when someone chooses a religion for themselves. So maybe that's what this person needs to do is make the choice for themselves instead of just taking what was given to you. So I mean, it's a tricky one because you don't know which way that this could go for that person, and I mean, and everyone has so many different beliefs, and it's very interesting though, religion, though, when you think about it, like
you
how
want to know
everyone
something?
always what.
So my grandfather, uh, a white guy. Yeah, do you know what religion he followed?
Mormon.
He was Buddhist.
Buddhist.
He was Buddhist.
Really?
Yeah. He had like
Lifelong or like late in age?
later in age, like he had met some people, and I don't know if they were Chinese or where exactly they were from, and he got along with their culture and their family and stuff, and somehow or another he like transitioned to that. He had a couple of like little like Buddhist statues and like a
Ah,
little like water fountain and everything. And like towards the end of his life, I think he did convert, back to like Christianity or Catholicism or whatnot. But
yeah.
um, that was something that he had practiced for a
But
while.
that's what I was gonna say. Is I was thinking too. Is like a lot of people will abandon religion in the middle of their lives, and then they get older, and then they go back to religion. As they
So they
get
can stop going to
closer
church for
to
like 20
death.
years, and then they're like, might as well
Yeah,
go
but
back.
you see, it happens a lot with a lot of older people. You see, all of a sudden they become religious. You're like, when did you become religious? Huh?
Yeah.
You know?
I know that my mom, like you were saying, this video is not going to make her
Don't
happy.
try to throw me under the bus. I didn't say anything.
So my mom is super religious, And like,
Yeah.
for example, like we were in Hawaii about a year ago, and like
Uh-huh.
when we were there, like we were there for a week, and she had like found a church that we were gonna go to and everything. So on Sunday, I'm like, all right, let's do it. So me, her, and my brother, we all went to church. It was so hot. I mean, am I the
Ooh.
a-hole for saying that we don't need an air conditioner? No, it was so hot. Um, and like people had like little fans, and it was just bad. But it was interesting. It was a really interesting like experience going to church on Hawaii, and just the
With,
people being there, and
was it a lot of tourists or was there it
it
was
was
locals?
a handful of both.
Oh.
So I mean, well, I would assume. I don't know, honestly.
Oh
I
yeah, yeah,
assume that
yeah.
there was tourists. We were tourists. Um,
Yeah.
being there. So it was a really cool experience, though. But just in saying like you do things for your family, or like something that makes your parents happy. So we did it as a family. So it just kind of depends. Now this person is saying, am I going to be the a-hole for telling my parents that I want to abandon their religion? I think that the
No.
parents, right, you gotta speak the truth. You
No,
can't
because
just lie
it's
about it. And
yeah. Because if you're lying about it, it invalidates everything. So what's the point of doing it if it invalidates it?
right.
Because if you
And
don't believe it.
yeah, I mean, and maybe telling your parents that you're going to church every Sunday, it's going to make them happy. But at the same time, it's just going to make you stressed out by having to lie to them. They're going to say, "Oh,
Yeah.
what time did you go to that service? Oh, what service did you go to?"
Oh, yeah.
Like my mom, she would make my brother go to church, and she would ask him questions like, what time did you go?" And then one time she called him out on it because he told her he went at this time. And she was like, "Oh, well, at that time it's Spanish mass. Why did you go to Spanish mass?" Or something
Well, he
like
speaks
that. And
Spanish.
like he he's like me. He can get by. Like it's
But
not
when he
like
was a
he's gonna
kid, he
sit
was
there.
fluent though.
But I mean, so was I. Like as a kid, like if
No,
you
but I
don't
remember
practice
him
it and
being
you
able to
don't
speak
keep it.
Spanish fluently. What
But
happened?
it's different being a kid and then not
I
using
guess he
it for
just
so many
stopped using
years.
it. Oh,
You lose
yeah.
it. Like imagine you like come back here to the United States, and then you don't use French for so many years. Like I mean, I don't know if you'd
No,
remember
because then I'll just
everything.
speak
Like
Spanish and then it'll be like
it's
speaking French.
if you don't use it, you lose it. And so that's just
Yeah,
something,
eventually, yeah.
me like growing up, like, I mean, I resisted, and, I didn't want to speak Spanish, and I wish that I did because it
I
would benefit me
know.
so much in my life now.
I
But
always tell people that don't stop your kids from speaking a second language. You never know how much that's going to help them in the future. And
yeah,
I mean, that's big bucks you can get. I know.
hire a trilingual nanny.
Well, not even that. I mean, even being a cashier in a bank, you get those increases and it pays off.
No, I'm saying like when you have kids, if you're gonna hire a nanny,
Oh, yeah,
hire
yeah.
somebody who speaks multiple languages and can teach your kids multiple languages.
Actually, that's smart. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
What
So you guys let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
What do you think? What should this person do? What should this person tell their parents? Because I don't think they're going to be the a-hole for telling their parents the truth, and I think that they should just come out, and they should come out and say it. They should
Yeah.
experience their life, and they should go and they should do what makes them happy, and not have to worry about lying, and not have to worry about covering their tracks, and just doing something to please their parents. If they want to
Yeah.
go to church with mom, dad, for these holidays, that's great. Make your parents happy, do what you need to do, but you don't have to lie about it. You can be honest and you can be open.
Yeah. And we're trying to get to
100 followers.
100. I said 1,000.
100,000.
I wish. And let us know what you think in the comments. Like, click, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys soon.
Thanks, you guys.
Bye.
From the Fernando and Freddy Show. Why isn't my name first?